What is up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Random Encounter Podcast. I'm your host, James, and I'm joined by Phaneckswhy
What up? What up?
and Big Mike.
What it do?
There's actually quite a bit of news that came out this week, which actually surprised me when I was looking for topics. But as always, we do got quite a few things to talk about today. We're going to be talking about a game that I'm actually going to apologize for because the game turns out to be an actual game, as well as some like early Gamescom news have been coming out. But first, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. We are actually sitting at 373 subscribers. Didn't get to update the tag because actually while I was setting things up, we grew by subscribers. So thanks everyone who is a subscriber to us on YouTube. As always, share our channel. We are trying to grow it. We're sitting at 373. We're trying to hit 500 subscribers. Hopefully we could do it by the end of the month because we are hitting our 1-year anniversary of the channel. So definitely do that. Mike's got a video up on Dave the Diver. Definitely take a look at that. And I also gave my thoughts on what I believe is well, not what I believe is wrong with Pokemon, but just, initial thoughts of Pokemon and where it's at in 2023. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to our first topic. And actually, we're going to talk about a little bit of small news because Gamescom's happening very soon. Actually, it's happening this Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And they're going to have an opening night show with Jeff Keighley, who, I think he did the same thing last year. So there might be some announcements there where, brand new announcements, maybe Metroid Prime 4. I doubt it, but, that would be pretty awesome. What are your guys' thoughts on Gamescom? Do you think we're going to see anything surprising or any new announcements that we haven't seen already?
I don't think so. I don't think. I
No.
don't know. I don't think so. No. I think this year is like already too stacked, dude. Like this year is like seriously like one of the most stacked gaming years we've had in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think if they announce anything, I don't think it's anything that's gonna come out this year. Maybe like this time next year, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's like this year we have a full year, or like what I mean a full year, like we have a full rest of the year. Like games are coming out, we know what's coming, except
It's
for
a lot.
there's a lot, and there's still things that we don't have a concrete release date yet. Like supposedly the Suikoden 1 and 2 remasters, or the HD remasters are supposed to be coming out this year. We haven't heard anything about that, so there could still be answers for that. What else? Front Mission 2nd or Front Mission 2 remake, whatever you want to call it, is supposed to be coming out later on this year as well.
Yeah,
What
but how
else?
often has Nintendo IPs have been on Gamescom?
I don't know. Like typically,
I mean, I can understand like if it's
Yeah.
multi-platform, then maybe. But if
Yeah.
it's like Nintendo only, I can't ever see that being
Well,
announced
no,
on
because they do
Gamescom.
their own stuff
Yeah.
for the most like 9 times out of 10. So I don't think it's gonna be anything Nintendo.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
Metroid Prime 4, I don't ever like
That's
that's
true.
never going to be announced on Gamescom. I mean, come on.
I
Nintendo's
mean,
going to be like,
you never
we're going to
know.
do that ourselves.
Was Metroid Prime, I'm trying to think, was Metroid Prime announced at a direct or was it like the Game Awards show?
I think it was at a direct. I'm pretty sure it was at a direct.
Okay.
I mean, originally it was announced during
Yeah.
E3, but that was like, way back then.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess there's that. I'm trying to think, like Tears of the Kingdom was definitely announced on a direct. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, Nintendo probably won't come out. You think maybe Death Stranding 2 or something like that? Because we know that exists. Maybe it's not a 2023 game, but then maybe they show off more about it in coming out 2024.
Maybe. I don't get my hopes up for anything anymore. So
Or they're just
I've
gonna
been
show
burned so
what?
many times.
So you think they're just gonna show off basically everything we already know?
I don't think there's gonna be anything new because, like I said, they have announced like a lot of stuff. Like it's almost overwhelming, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking and like just in August in like indie games, there's like at least 6 or 7 that dropped in August that I want to play, plus like AAA games like or double A for like what's it called? The robot one. I'm having a
Armor
brain
Core.
fart. Armored Core, yeah. Like uh and but yeah, like I don't know, man. Like I feel like if they announce a bunch of new games, it's just gonna be too overwhelming.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because with everything going out, it makes sense. Like, where our mind is set on 2023 and you start announcing stuff for 2024, it's going to be like, like, what? I mean, we
I
do
don't really
know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I don't really care, dude. Like, just in September alone, dude, you have Starfield, Mortal Kombat, Payday 3,
Mhm.
Lies of P. You know what I mean? That's like literally like 2 weeks within each other. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah. I
October
don't
is
think
like
there'll be
super
any
stacked.
new announcements. They might just do like, first looks of like announcements that they've already talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
that's the direction it'll go.
like Alan Wake 2 or whatever. They'll probably show more of that.
hmm Which I believe
Uh,
it just got delayed. I didn't mention it because I don't know why. I probably should have wrote it in the notes, but I know it got delayed, and their thing was to make room for people to finish their favorite games before they get to Alan Wake 2, which I mean it makes sense, right? Like Mike's saying, it's a stacked rest of the year. Like, September alone, like why does in 1 week it looks like it's like Sonic, was it Superstars, Mario, Spider-Man, and I feel like I'm missing another game that's coming out that
Oh,
same
like
week.
you talking about October?
Yeah, in October. Did I say September?
Yeah.
My fault. I'm
Yeah.
in October. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in
Yeah,
October, yeah.
but not only that, but like it's like you have all those games coming out on top of everything that came out on August, on top of everything that's coming out in September. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like I'm gonna have to wait till like retirement to catch up on this backlog, dude.
Yeah.
Especially with it's all big games like Baldur's Gate 3,
hmm
Starfield, like you know what I mean? Like just those two games alone are hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah. And that's the thing with me. Like I was talking about this today, where with Starfield, I feel it's gonna be one of those things that I play like about like 10 hours of, and I'll be like, all right, move on. Let me move on to the next game because I'm not gonna have 100 hours to complete the game. But I mean, who
It
knows?
just depends on how good it is.
Yeah,
If they do a good job with everything and it keeps me entertained, like that might be the only game I play for the rest of the year. I don't know.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. I'm with you on that. But yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of other things announced at Gamescom that are coming to Gamescom that we're going to see some previews for. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. A little bit of more smaller news. Sega announced that they have purchased Rovio, which was rumored a while back, and it looks like they already went through. And I know it's because the mobile division, Sega's trying to expand on their mobile division. So that's interesting. I mean, it seems like everybody that's purchasing a company right now, they're really looking at the mobile division. Microsoft, in the Microsoft Activision stuff, they had said that they were looking for Activision Blizzard mainly because of King, which King are developers of like was it Candy Crush and a bunch of other mobile games, and it kind of makes sense because I guess to fund these AAA games, you do need other revenue streams because AAA games are becoming more and more expensive to produce. So yeah, stuff like that makes sense. I guess maybe we're gonna see now a Sonic and Angry Birds crossover or something like. They might as
I
well.
mean,
yeah, ick. That gives me the ick, bro. Anytime I hear like mobile games, dude, it's like, oh man.
I hear you. Yeah, I mean, there's some good ones out there. Fantasia being one of them.
That's an iPad game, all right.
Yeah,
It's not a mobile game, dude. Like,
yeah, that is true. I guess there is
yeah.
that blend between that because like Divinity Original Sin 2 is available on iPad as well, and it's like, would you consider that a mobile game? No, like,
Yeah, like cause I played Fantasia on my iPad. I never played it on my phone,
yeah,
which is actually a good idea for when I'm like slacking off at work. It's not a bad idea.
finish it up. It looks like they
Yeah,
it actually
yeah.
looks like they patched it and made it easier.
Really?
Yeah, because
Yeah, I'm too much of a scrub, dude. I couldn't do it, dude. Like,
well, it looks like now, because I was talking about this with somebody, but it looks like now it actually tells you, because I don't remember it doing this, but it tells you when you're going to the little areas to like save the people, it tells you what level you should be for each area. So you can kind of choose which area to go to that's
oh, for
based on
real?
your level. Yeah. Where I
Okay,
could have
yeah,
sworn that
it
last
didn't
time,
tell you.
that's what I
I know
thought.
for a fact it didn't, because I went to different areas because I'm like, yo, this is too hard. So I just went to somewhere else, and I'm like, yo, this is still too hard. I'm like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah, see, I thought I was going crazy because when I was talking with somebody about it and they were showing me that, I was like, yeah, I don't think it did that before. I'm pretty sure they patched it and made it easier because people were complaining of how hard it was.
It definitely, dude. It literally went from being like this is like too easy to like this is like ridiculous, dude. Especially, dude, that boss that casts like Petrify or whatever, dude.
Yep.
Like, bro, like it's like like you literally have one character like turn to stone. You're using one character to turn him not to stone. You're attacking with one character, and then by the time you do all that, he turns another character to stone, and it's just like, yo,
Yeah.
like,
Your turns are wasted on just trying to
yeah,
do that. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh man. That was like that, like with the final boss of part one was the same thing where it's like once once one person died, that's it. You waste like 10 turns trying to get everybody healed up,
yeah.
and oh man. But good game nonetheless. You know, Sakaguchi shows that he still has it with him. But yeah.
And this is Fantasia?
Fantasian. Yeah, not
Oh,
Fantasia.
Fantasian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Mickey Mouse Fantasia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's worse.
Yeah.
It's like a borderline like masochist level hard, dude. Like maybe I
Yeah.
just suck at RPGs now. I don't know. Like
Great game, highly recommended. I wish we could talk more about Fantasia. Unfortunately, we can't. Not right now, at least. But highly recommend it if you have an iPad or iPhone or Mac or I guess Apple TV. I guess they're on all those devices there. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Mirage has also pushed up their release date from October 12th to October 5th. I guess they're trying to get away from that week, like I was talking about, that's packed. I'm excited for
oh
Mirage.
man, I'm super excited for it, dude.
Yeah, it's nice
It's
to
going
have.
back to OG. Like
Yeah. So you know what's funny? I was playing Assassin's Creed Bloodlines on my Vita, and I forgot how nice it was to play like a compact like Assassin's Creed world. And not only that, like, I mean, you know, granted, this was a PSP game, so like it's not really heavy in terms of like NPCs and stuff like that. But something that I feel that like the newer Assassin's Creed don't have is like the amount of NPCs you would get in the cities where you can blend in between them. I feel like there's a lot less NPCs in the cities in the newer Assassin's Creed versus like, you know, Assassin's Creed 2 or any of those Assassin's
right.
Creed.
I
So
wonder how like dense it's gonna be on these new consoles and everything.
that is true because I think the last one that was very dense was what's it called? Unity. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that I think out of all the Assassin's Creed, that was
That's the
super
most dense.
packed. Yeah, I love Unity. Like it sucks that when it first came out, it was bad, but now that it's been updated, it seems to run a lot
I
better.
got like 10 hours in, and the main character just pissed me off so bad. Like, cause he was just such a little baby about everything, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, what's up, David? Welcome to the podcast, man. How you doing?
what
This is
up? What
this is
up?
yeah, this is other David, not David who's always here.
David, who's always here, hasn't always been here. Like, I don't
That
know.
is true. That is
Yeah.
true. We have a little bit of other news. Chicago Bulls, they announced their schedule. I know you'll be like, wait, we're talking about sports, right? Well, there's a specific reason why I'm talking about sports. The way they announced their schedule is they did a play on Pokemon. So if you actually look at the tweet that they did, and I won't show it here, but if you look at the tweet they did, it's basically like a little guy who's I guess the Chicago Bulls mascot, and the game looks like it was just Pokemon, and then he talks to a coach, and it starts a battle, and then the coach like throws out
Yes.
like a player and all that stuff. Like it was kind of cool. Like I like the inspiration they took from Pokemon. Did you guys all take a look at that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
It was funny. They had one of the bad guys was LeBron, just called Braun.
yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, and they did like some moves and stuff like that. Like that was pretty funny. I think it's pretty good though that they did that. It's nice to see. That's how you know somebody who grew up with Pokemon did that. You know, all us nerds are now growing up and we're in charge of all the social media and all that stuff. So
Just wait, it's gonna keep getting worse and worse, dude.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
or not worse, but better.
It'll
I
get
guess.
better and then it'll get worse because then everything is gonna be a battle royale instead.
Right? Yeah.
You got
that's
all
true.
yeah, all the new PR people to be like, let's just do a battle royale ad or something like that. All right, let's talk about our first big topic, and this is something I gotta apologize for because a while back in the podcast I said that I don't believe that this was a game. I didn't think it exists. I thought it was just a tech demo and this was never gonna come out. But it just so happened that Black Myth Wukong is an actual game. So I apologize for saying it wasn't a game because they did actually showcase gameplay today, and it was a behind what do you call it, behind closed doors event. So the press got to go ahead and play the game. They actually got to play, I believe it was 45 minutes of it, and apparently, well, from what they said, it's actually really good. It is Souls light, not Souls like, but Souls light, where there are a little bit of Souls elements into it. Unfortunately, I didn't see any gameplay. I just read the article, but we're supposed to be seeing more gameplay at Gamescom, so we'll be able to get a first look at that, see how it goes. But from what they're describing it, it seems a lot more like Ninja Gaiden rather than like Dark Souls. Are you guys excited for this? Did you guys even get to read this article? Because it actually popped up maybe a couple hours ago.
But I saw something on it, but I don't know. There's not really any gameplay on it though. I didn't see any gameplay. Is there?
There
No,
is.
did it actually come out? Like, I'm not talking about like the
Yeah.
pre-demos. I'm talking about like the current like actual gameplay where there's somebody actually playing it.
I know IGN released a video like a few hours ago,
Okay,
like
so
talking about that firsthand experience about how it was, and it actually looked more like when you say Ninja Gaiden, it's the same team that made Neo.
yeah,
So Team Ninja, they made Neo, and
Yeah.
that's like their version of a Souls-like,
yeah,
and that's what it reminded me of is actually Neo.
more Neo.
Because because Neo, you have like 3 different like fighting modes: light mode, normal, and hard in terms
Yeah.
of like stance, like fighting styles. And they talked about it in the video how like your character can change different fighting styles, and you just pick it, and there's a little icon at the bottom, shows that it changed, and like it looks just like that. It looks just like Neo.
Man, I didn't get to see that. I'm gonna have to double check and see that video. But yeah, Neo's a good example because actually, on my Vita, I'm going back and playing Ninja Gaiden Sigma, and I'm realizing that it's a lot more like Neo than I thought. Because I remember playing Ninja Gaiden a long time ago, and Neo I've played a lot more recently. But going back to Ninja Gaiden, it's like, yeah, it's very similar to Ninja Gaiden. You just don't have the Souls element of, you die, you respawn, you lose your XP and stuff like that. But are you guys excited for Black Myth Wukong at all?
No.
You're
I
not?
mean,
I'm just.
I
There's not enough
grew up on it.
information.
Gotcha.
Like I grew up on Wukong
Mm-hmm.
because it's I mean it's a freaking Chinese fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those stories that I grew up watching as a Chinese like drama. Like
Mhm.
they made movies, they made TV shows. Like
Yep.
so, I used to
Dragon
watch
Ball
the
Z
stuff
is
growing up.
like inspired by it even.
Yep.
Yeah, it's heavily inspired by it because of the freaking character.
Yep.
He freaking Goku, his son
Son
Goku,
Goku.
Yeah.
is actually the Japanese translation of Wukong.
Yeah. So say Sun Wukong has everything. He's a
Yeah.
tail. He's a monkey boy.
Yeah.
Flying Nimbus.
Flies
The
on a
power
freaking
pole.
flies on
Yeah.
a cloud. Has a staff that extends.
Yep.
Turns into a great. Yeah, it's like he can transform. It's all the same stuff. The only difference is he's an alien instead of a mythical creature.
Yeah.
You know.
Are
Came down
aliens
on a
mythical
meteorite
creatures
instead of
though? Like.
No, I
Yeah.
mean in Dragon Ball he came on a spaceship, right? That was
I know.
a ball,
Yeah.
right? In Wukong, like it's Journey to the West. He came from a meteorite. He was born from a meteorite.
Yeah.
So they considered
Similar.
He was a mythical
Yeah, I
creature.
mean,
yeah.
it's-
So
yeah,
he
that's-
technically he's an alien. Came from space.
Yeah.
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 That's pretty close. Like there's definitely like some analogies there.
Yeah.
You'll find out.
But yeah,
that-
I'm actually kind of excited because I'm interesting to see what they'll do since I grew up watching that as a kid, watching the Chinese dramas about Journey to the West. So I'm interested to see what they'll do in terms of the special abilities because they did talk about some of the special abilities.
Yeah.
And one of the special abilities, which he does a lot, is cloning, where he'll like take a strand of his hair and then he'll like make a bunch of his clones that fight with you.
Yeah. I think they
And they-
showed that before.
Yeah, they talked about that,
Yeah.
but then they talked about a bunch of other abilities and stuff like that too. So it'll be interesting to see like a lot of the mythos laid out in there for people
What-
who are familiar with it.
I like the story, but like I'm kind of like getting burnt out on the Souls
Yeah.
like especially like after Liza P because that looks good too. Like I don't know when the next time I'll play like a Souls and then Armored Core as well. I guess is like Souls light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah, I agree with you to an extent like that. Like Neo is nice because it's faster pace, and playing Ninja Gaiden, I do like the faster pace where it's like, oh, I gotta time this, block really quick and I can jump around and do these things. Like if the combat's more like that, then I would probably enjoy it more than a Souls like
It
where
kind
it's
of looked like
slower
it,
pace.
so
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of looked like it. So we'll
So
see.
Same.
so I was gonna ask you, fan. So because I'm not too familiar with like Journey to the West, I've never read it. I know about it. I just never read it. What are his abilities?
Um, so the he can transform. Like he can basically shapeshift
Mm-hmm.
for one, so he can make himself look like almost anybody. He can do martial arts, ki blast, like all the stuff that would be for Dragon Ball Z. He does the whole duplicating with the hair. Like he'll put his hair and he can make clones of himself. He has like other like equipment, so all the stuff that he does, he actually stole. So the staff did not belong to him. He stole that from the like dragon kings from the oceans and stuff like that. It's made of dragon bone and made it into a staff, and that became his weapon. Um, he like did a bunch of like kind of like Hercules type things where he did like a bunch of labors and got invited into heaven or nirvana to become a god. Ate a fruit that made him immortal, but then he got kicked out because he just like did whatever the hell he wanted. And then he got imprisoned, and that's why he has that little like crown, the little golden crown.
Yeah.
So that's the way the monk controls him, because like the monk says a prayer, and that crown actually just like crushes his head. So like it's the way to like keep him in check.
Interesting. Okay.
But he has like other like equipment type stuff too. So and that's things that you'll see like throughout the journey. One thing was a gourd that he has that can like suck in anything and trap people and like seal them inside the bottle.
Another Dragon Ball thing, yeah, where
I mean more like Dragon Ball got it from that.
Well, that's what I meant, but yeah, it's like another thing that Dragon Ball has. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, because I'm excited to kind of like play and go through the story. I do want to read the book eventually, and see how much of Dragon Ball is inspired like by it. But I guess we'll wait and see till this comes out. We'll have to wait to see till Gamescom. Like I want to see actual gameplay of somebody playing it versus these trailers and see if the game actually looks as good as what they were showing previously. Because for me, it's still hard to believe that the game looks that good. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on Tuesday, or sometime later on this week if it's not Tuesday. Actually, on Tuesday, because I believe Jeff Keighley is going to show a new trailer on Tuesday. I believe he said.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see because like his only weapon is the staff. So like, how are they going to like implement other gameplay? Because if he only has one weapon, what are they going to do to make it different?
Yeah, that's true.
Make some stuff up.
Yeah. Like add things to it, I guess. Like maybe like add like elemental buffs or something to the staff. Who knows?
Or I mean, they could give him hand-to-hand combat too and stuff like that. Like I could see that happening. That'd be cool, hand-to-hand combat. Yeah. But
Yeah, go. I mean, technically, One Piece is very inspired. Monkey D. Luffy is supposed to be based on Wukong.
Really?
I mean, he
Wukong,
stretches.
can he stretch? Yeah, I was like, in Wukong
Pole,
stretch too?
the pole stretches.
Yeah.
His name's Monkey.
I guess that is true. But there's also Monkey D. Dragon as well, and Monkey D. Garp and all those others.
Yeah, I mean, like the like idea for the character, I think it's just inspiration from that too. So
yeah. Yeah, but a bunch of other stuff was also shown right before Gamescom. Neo Berlin 2087, which is an interesting looking game. That game, basically, it's a first person / third person, which I don't know which one it is. Maybe it's both. Maybe in certain sections it's first, others is third, or maybe you got to choose your point of view. But it's a first person, third person story driven shooter. It looks pretty interesting. It's like takes place in a futuristic, like cyberpunkish world. Looks pretty cool. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see more of that, but they are going to show more at Gamescom, so I'm kind of excited to kind of see where that goes, because it's been a while where I've seen a story-driven first-person shooter game. I want to say the last one was probably Wolfenstein, right? Maybe there's something else that I'm missing, but Wolfenstein is the last one I can really think of. Well, I guess there was that other one. What was that other one that was people thought that it reminded them of BioShock? The one that takes place in Russia.
Atomic Heart.
Yeah, Atomic Heart. There we go. I guess there's that one
Yeah.
as well. And then Like a Dragon Gaiden was also showed off. It was actually a small little like I wouldn't really call it an event, but like a first peek, and it actually looks really good. One of the things with Like a Dragon Gaiden is if you purchase the game, once you beat the game, there is a demo of Like a Dragon 8, aka Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, which is scheduled to release in 2024. I am liking the way Like a Dragon Gaiden is looking. There's a lot of nice like gameplay elements they showed off, a lot of
Is
different
that
things.
is that the one that takes place in like feudal Japan?
No, that was Like a Dragon Ishin, which came out already. Uh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Like a Dragon Gaiden is the prequel to Like a Dragon 8. So it takes place after Yakuza Like a Dragon 7. And
Oh, okay.
right before 8, it's going to show how Kiryu, how he's getting involved with the stuff in Like a Dragon 8. So seems pretty looks pretty cool. They showed off like all the mini games. Like they have little like kart racing in there. Of course, the arcade stuff. So they showed like Sonic. I believe it's called Sonic Fighters. It's an old arcade fighting game. Bunch of other Sega properties there. As far as like combat goes, he has like a spy fighting style where he has all these gadgets. So that he has like rockets on his shoes where they're just like he can go ahead and do like rocket punches and all that. So it's crazy. I mean, you can't take the game seriously, but there are serious elements to it, and it's just looking really good. I'm excited for it, and of course, this one's not going to be turn based. It's going to be actual action fighting game or a brawler type game where Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth will be back to turn based like a Dragon 7. Did you guys take a look at any of those two games?
I try to get into it and I just cannot. Like, so I literally have zero interest in it.
Gotcha.
I might give it another shot. I own like 3 of them on Steam.
Yeah.
So
You might like the turn based one because I hear a lot of people like the turn based one.
I might check it out. But
Yeah.
I heard it's like a story-based game, so if I don't know the story, then I feel like it's kind of like
Yeah.
not, you know what I mean?
Why can't they just remake freaking Shinmu? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, they tried to continue with 3 and
Didn't
you
go
saw
too good.
yeah, I would say
I
that
know
like
they should just remake it and like do it the way they want to do it.
yeah.
You know,
Which is funny cuz like Yakuza is literally in the
it's like
vein of
freaking
Shenmue. It's like they're
yeah.
exactly the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. If anything, I like Shenmue more because it has more kung fu elements, and like I'm a kung fu nerd. I love like kung fu, and there's a lot more like fighting. Like you learn different fighting styles. The combat was a little bit more interesting in my opinion. Where Like a Dragon or Yakuza, whatever you want to call it now, is a lot more just button mashing. So I don't know. That would be nice if they could remake that. But going back to what I was saying earlier, yeah, a lot of people like the Yakuza like a Dragon or Yakuza 7 because of the turn base, which is kind of cool. It's heavily inspired by Dragon Quest, so there's a lot of like Dragon Quest themes in there and stuff like that, which is cool. And I believe it's a so I've played the beginning part, like the first 3 chapters, and as of where I'm at, there is really no callbacks to any of the previous games. So, except for like Kiryu, but he's only like an optional boss. He's like a optional quest that you fight. That's about it. He's not part of the main story. So, I guess we'll. I mean, I'll say give it a try. If anything, watch a summary or something like that on YouTube, and see if you like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'm the only one here. I was hoping actually to be here for this. 'Cause I think he's played some of the games, but I'm a fan. I probably will pick up Gaiden. I still have yet to play 3, 4, 5, and 6 though, and I probably won't play 3, 4, and 5 because there is a like a remastered port, but they're just a port of the original PS2 games, and they don't PS2 and PS3 games, and they don't play as good. So I don't know if I can go back to playing those, but 2 was nice because it's a full remake, and then of course 7 was the only one that was available on PS4. And then, I'm sorry, 6 was the only one that was available on PS4, and of course you got 7 and now 8 and Gaiden coming out. So yeah, and there's also Ishin, which is something totally different. But any thoughts on any of that? How about Neil Berlin? Did you guys take a look at that?
Mm-mm.
I watched the trailer and it kind of reminds me of Too Human. Or
I've
is it Too Human?
I've never played Two Human. Wasn't that the game that Mike I think had
It was one of those the human
for
game where you play a robot, an android that had to make decisions and stuff like that.
Oh, you're talking about Become Human or whatever,
Become Human,
Detroit,
yeah, Becoming Human. Yeah,
Detroit something,
yeah.
yeah.
Detroit something, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Becoming Human. I don't know, the character kind of reminded me of that, the way it kind of looked on the
Yeah,
trailer, but
yeah, it's a
it didn't
weird
really
thing at
show
the
much, so
end.
it's kind of hard to say.
I mean, they showed the action gameplay where it's like third person, and there was another shot that shows first person shooting, and there is the line at the end is like, I'm here to save humanity. It's like, but if I don't know, it says something about like, are is there any humans left? Because I guess everybody has like cybernetics in them or something like that. So it's gonna be interesting. I'll keep an eye out on that one. I mean, when it comes to first person shooter games, I prefer third person. So like, if I could play the whole game in third person, I'll probably look into that because I would like a third person action adventure game because I feel like there's not that many of those in terms of like shooting, right? Like there's the Uncharted. I mean, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like we haven't gotten a lot of shooting third person action adventure games lately.
Gears.
Yeah, there's Gears as well. Yeah. Gears is weird though. Like um there's
Gears
yeah,
is good. I don't know why they kind of like gave up on it.
yeah. I thought they were working on a new one, they said.
I mean, it's been a while, dude.
Yeah.
Like it's been a long time.
Gears what
Like
was the last one? Gears
5.
5? Okay. Yeah.
I they're actually pretty. They're actually really fun and they're like good co-op
Co-op
games.
games. Yeah. I beat Gears 4 with my son, I believe, and then I started Gears 5 and Gears 5 was it felt a lot like a PlayStation game because you have like you go around you're in the what do you call that ice area and then you have the little like
Yeah, it feels like God
sled
of War
thing.
kind of.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was like playing as a man. This feels a lot like a Sony game.
we should do a full Gears run on stream.
That's true. Yeah, it is like all the Gears of War games.
Yeah, from like 1 through 5. They're all on Game Pass. Like
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, I haven't played one, two. I haven't played one or two. I
on
played
hardest
three
difficulty.
on hardest difficulty. Oh man, yeah, because they're pretty
Yeah,
tough. I'm playing normal and they're
yeah,
pretty
there
tough
are.
still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've only played the first Gears for an hour, and that's it.
See, the first
They're
one
pre-
when it first came out, I stopped because the running motion got me motion sickness because how the camera shakes.
yeah,
I hated that, but I believe in the remake the remake they did. I believe
you can
they
turn it off.
yeah, which I would have to turn it off because if not,
The
yeah, go ahead.
it's good though. Like the third one's a tearjerker for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking something because we're talking about. That. I was thinking like part of me wished that Starfield was multiplayer because then we could have played that on stream together. But then at
Mods,
the same
bro.
time,
Just give it like a month.
yeah, that's true.
Like I'm sure someone's already so the cool thing about Bethesda is they already gave the game to modders to
Hmm.
make mods for day one.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And I'm like, some companies are kind of goated, like, because even if so, like, let's say even if something's buggy or something, one
Hmm.
of these mods is gonna fix it,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that's why companies should support modding communities.
Hmm.
Like,
No, I agree. Versus blocking them from doing anything.
yeah,
All
it's
right.
free labor. I don't understand, bro. It's literally free labor, dude. Like, you get free DLCs, free patches, free everything, dude.
Yeah, that is true. All right, our last topic of the day. Let's talk about Lenovo, and this was something that Mike had shared. I want to say a couple weeks ago, maybe, and we did say it on the podcast where Lenovo was reported to be working on a handheld, and now it looks like there is a leak of this handheld. So give me a second. I gotta share my screen. I forgot to set that up. That's my fault. There we go. Wrong. Oof, that was close. I almost hit stop streaming by mistake. So yeah, we have what's called the Lenovo Legion Go gaming handheld, which will be running Windows. And if you look at the stream, we do have it up there. And basically, it's I guess you could say the ROG Ally was inspired by the Steam Deck, where this seems to be a little bit of both, but maybe a little bit more inspired by the Switch. So, according to Windows Report, this is their exclusive report of what the Lenovo Legion Go will look like, and you can see it has the four face buttons. You have a start and select button, or whatever you want to call that. You have two buttons on the side here at the lower left. You have, of course, a D-pad, and it has something the ROG Ally doesn't, and that's a trackpad, which makes it easier to navigate in menus that utilize the mouse. The trackpad is one of those things. I mean, you guys have the ROG Ally, so let me know. But did you feel like it would be easier to navigate if the ROG Ally had a trackpad?
Yeah,
Fan?
it's
Yeah.
yeah, no,
I
it's
mean,
it's
for me, it like
not good.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the touchscreen is kind of meh. I mean, having a mouse does make it easier for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And using the joystick as a mouse is kind of slow.
So I don't care. So here's my thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's making all of these handheld devices, but there's no handheld Windows 11.
Yeah.
So bro, I was debloating my Asus ROG Ally, Asus emphasized, and there was HP drivers on it. Why the hell are there HP drivers on my Asus ROG Ally? You know what I mean? Like, because it's included in the Windows 11 bloat. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
so like it doesn't matter. So like the Asus ROG Ally technically is um like more powerful than the
Mm-hmm.
Steam Deck, but they run games very similar. You know why? Because Windows 11. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, because a quarter of that power is used by Windows 11 just to run.
Yeah, and some of those games run better. Like Street Fighter 6 is one of those that runs better on the Steam Deck versus the ROG Ally.
Yeah. So it's yeah, like it's not like I don't know why there's not like a like more deep bloated like Windows 11.
Yeah,
Probably because they want to sell all your data, and if they deep load it, it'll get rid of a lot of that.
yeah. Well, and it's kind of neat, like the design. So you have like the vents on the back. You have a kickstand, which is kind of cool because actually that's one thing that neither the ROG Ally or the Steam Deck has. And some people might argue like, why do you need a kickstand? But I'm
I would
pretty sure
argue that.
Fan has seen me. I do have a JSOX like stand, and I just set my Steam Deck on there. And sometimes I just use a normal controller while using that screen. On my Switch, I've used the kickstand plenty of times. I'll take off the Joy Cons just to play the game on there, or I'll have like a separate controller and play the game that way. So I think,
I'm,
yeah, go
I'm too blind for that.
ahead. Yeah, for me,
But
like I like utilizing the kickstand. I use it a lot. So for me, I personally like that they have that. Also, it looks like there's more buttons because there is a trigger, right? You have your right and left triggers, and then you have your top bumper buttons. But it looks like on the screen there's like a was it like
There's
M?
two side buttons, and then
Yeah,
on the like right controller, the button like the M like the two. The Steam Deck has two extra
yeah,
back paddle buttons.
yeah,
It seems like the one on that right controller, the two back paddle buttons are this way instead of
yeah.
this way, right?
or is this
I think it's just a render problem.
okay? I
Probably
Well,
was about to.
that's in the
supposedly, yeah,
It's just
suppose,
weird.
yeah,
It's, and the two side buttons because it shows M1, M2 on the side buttons,
yeah,
and then M3 and
M3,
M4 on the
yeah.
back. And I think the M1 and M2 are just going to have too many accidental hits when you're holding it as a Joy-Con.
That I agree. Like having these side buttons, I don't know if this. Oh yeah, my mouse doesn't show up on the screen there, but yeah, having these side buttons seems kind of awkward. Like not only that, like what would you use that for? I guess macros, but I don't really use macros like that personally. Yeah, I don't know. And then there's like four slots up top, but I have no clue what they are.
I
Or
think
that could
that's
be the
just I think that's exhaust.
exhaust. Okay, that makes
Yeah,
sense
I think
then.
that's
Yeah,
exhaust.
that's true. That does make
Someone
sense.
else made a comment saying they thought it was like a full size USB and HDMI ports. I'm like, no, there's
Yeah,
no way that's a full size HDMI port and the USB port. It's got to be exhaust because there's where else are you going to exhaust? You
yeah,
got intake on the back. It's got to be exhaust up top.
yeah.
Um,
No, that makes sense. I completely forgot about that.
Could
And
be
then
bottom.
that's true. You could put it at the
Bottom
bottom.
exhaust with the kickstand? No, because all that heat would just go down
Yeah, that makes sense
right into
too.
the unit.
Yeah, but you got to remember, a bunch of idiots design these sometimes. So like, you can't put it past them.
That
I
is
mean,
true.
I've seen some things, man. I've seen
I
some
mean,
things.
every handheld gaming device has an exhaust up top for most of the part. For most of the
Yeah.
parts.
And
I
then you
mean,
have
Steam Deck, Ally, Switch,
there's also
the
2 USB-C
IO
ports on this
Neos and stuff
too
like that. Yeah, I'm just hoping there's one on the bottom.
for a dock. Yeah, that would be nice. It would be not well, maybe not because I thought about it. Like if there was one at the bottom, it would be nice to be able to use like your Switch dock and maybe if oh this would probably be too big to fit in the Switch dock anyway.
If they
So
could make their own, you know.
yeah, but that would be cool. But I doubt it. If it has 2 USB-C ports up top, I don't think they would put a bottom one. And of course, there's a headphone jack. And then here's a render of like the I was gonna say Joy Cons, but whatever you want to call them, detaching. I mean, I don't know. Would you guys get? Oh, it looks like there's also another button on the side. I didn't
Yeah,
see that.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many buttons. Like, it
Yeah,
makes no sense.
there's like a scrolling looking thing. Like you see it as like a wheel on the right Joy-Con. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird now that I think about it. Hmm. I don't,
Yeah, I'm not. I'm good, bro. Like, until like I can get like 4K gaming and handheld or something like that, I don't think I'm buying another one.
yeah, I mean, well, for me, I guess I could be the guinea pig, right? Because you both have the ROG Ally, so I'll pick this up. If it's priced right, I'll pick this up since it's running
Doesn't look
Windows.
like it's gonna be if it has all this.
That,
This is looking real $1,000 ish. Like, you know what I mean?
that is true, yeah. Like, yeah, if it's $1,000, I think that'll be a no go for me for sure. But
Like
you're right.
especially like the big key factor is like the display. Like if they do a nice display on this, for sure it's gonna
Hmm.
be around that.
Maybe do like a 480p screen, like some cheap panel or something like that.
Or they could do OLED, like just make a premium, like you know what I mean, like
That's
gaming
true.
handheld.
I mean, you think if they had an OLED, a 1080p OLED display, and let's say it's more powerful than the ROG Ally, and they price it at 1,000, would you get it?
1,000?
Yeah.
It's a hard sell, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
sell your ROG Ally and get it.
I mean, for
maybe
$1,000, I might as well buy like one of those other ones. You know?
for $1,000,
Mhm.
I can switch to AM5 platform, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean,
and
I could.
still save like $300.
What was it?
Like,
I could get one of the jeez, the one that looks like a Vita with the sliding screen.
Oh, the Win GP.
Yeah, GPD Win Mini.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That one has a Oculink port on it, which is basically the same, almost the same thing as the ROG Ally's XG mobile port.
Hmm. Yeah. I I don't know. I think I need more info on this to see because maybe they're taking the feedback that Asus is having with the ROG Ally, and they're seeing like burning SD cards, like you just mentioned, Fan, that your micro SD card, right? That part got overheated, and now your card doesn't work.
I mean, it works. The reader doesn't work.
Oh, the reader doesn't work. That's what it is.
The
Yeah.
card itself will read in like my PC. Like I can stick it into a SD like a micro reader,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll read on my Windows computer. But when I put it into my Ally, it just will lock up the system. So I think the reader itself on the Allies is bad.
Have you had that issue, Mike, or you don't use a micro SD card?
I haven't used a micro SD card yet.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I
I
know.
think I'm just gonna buy like they have a 2 terabyte inland drive for like $184 right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I might just bite the bullet, upgrade to 2 terabytes, and then I don't have to worry about space.
Yeah. And I know that's like a big issue, like with the ROG Allies. A lot of people are having issues with the micro SD card slot, whether it's like burning up the card or I guess the reader itself.
That's fixed with update.
Did it get fixed? Okay.
Yeah,
The update only the
everyone on
update's
Reddit said it
only
works now.
the update was only for like dealing with the heat by changing the fan curves.
Well, everything I read on Reddit said like it's fine now.
Yeah,
Hmm.
mine still doesn't work even after
Oh.
I've updated the BIOS and everything on it. So I'm assuming all the heat issues is freaking killed my reader.
Hit up Asus support. It's
Yeah, I
less
don't
than a
want
year
to.
old.
Yeah,
Did you get a protection plan on it?
of course. I have freaking Total Tech.
Yeah, bro. Just take it in. Just say it doesn't work. Get a new one.
Get a
Like,
swap.
Yeah. I think still think I'm gonna update the drive. So if I'm gonna do the change out, I'll want to clone the original drive first, just to make it easier for me to transfer everything, so I don't have to re-download all the crap all over again.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, like, if you have a warranty on it, why not?
All right. Before we end the podcast today, I want to know, what are your guys' most anticipated game for the rest of the year?
Starfield,
Starfield? Okay.
100%. Like, I'm reading all these leaks, and like, it's like the next 2 weeks are gonna suck, dude. I'm just excited because it comes out the same weekend as Labor Day, and I'm like, I'm off Labor Day, bro. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good weekend. Like,
What about you, Fan?
There's a lot of games I want to play, but I don't know. There's like a specific game that I'm like gonna dive into and like throw my life like a couple days away, like I did with Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Maybe Super Mario RPG, but that's because of nostalgia, just because I grew up playing that game on the SNES. That's the only game I can think of.
For me, I'm there. Like, I don't think Starfield's it because, like, you guys know, like, I'm not a huge Bethesda fan, but I do like sci-fi stuff, which is why I'm kind of into Starfield. But I'm gonna wait and see and play. Of course, it's available on Game Pass, so I will play it and see how that goes. But as far as like my hype levels, yeah, I'm thinking I'm with you. It's either Super Mario RPG. Yeah, I think that's really it. Like, 'cause I'm trying to think like what else is coming out later on this year that I might be excited for.
Super Mario Wonder. There's a lot of games
Yeah,
coming out in
I know,
September.
yeah.
yeah, like
Um,
Wonder as well. Sonic Superstars. I'm actually excited to play that too. Uh, like Spider-Man 2. I think it's a wait for a sale type of game. Like, I don't think I'm gonna pick that up
same,
this year
dude.
because
I only bought the other
Um,
games on sale too, so
yeah,
yeah, I don't think. Yeah, no. There's
yeah.
too many games that have more original ideas that I need to play before that.
Mm-hmm. It's I was talking with somebody about that. I was like, Spider-Man is just Batman Arkham, just with Spider-Man. Like, it's
Yeah,
it's
uh,
literally just that.
they're great. They're good
Mhm.
games. They're very well put together, but at the same time, like, it's
I
just
played this
that. You
already.
know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah. I'm like,
but
go
I
ahead.
think I think so. I've been looking. What the hell? Sorry. I think a lot of the leaks, if they are true,
Hmm.
because I've read that a lot of like the leaks are false.
Yeah,
But I read that if they are true, what everyone is saying, then I think it has like potential to be one of the best games like ever made.
the Starfield.
Yeah,
Oh,
just like we're talking about like um sit like kind of like a sim style game, like because I
hmm.
read you can literally like if you pick Homesteader, you literally start the game with a mortgage and a house, and you have to pay the mortgage like every like month or something. You know what I
Interesting.
mean? So it's like really like in depth.
Yeah,
I ain't got time
interesting.
for that. I got my own mortgage in real life I gotta pay for.
Bro, I'm all about Sims, dude, because all I do is work here. So
I mean, what the one thing I'm really excited for in Starfield is like space combat, because a lot of games, Mass Effect is a great example. You get the like human combat, but you don't really do space combat, and I am happy that they have that in Starfield. So that's something that I'm excited to kind of like play around with. Or actually, no, that Star Wars game is not coming out this year, right? The Star Wars,
Outlaws?
negative.
yeah,
No.
Ooh,
okay,
Assassin's Creed as well. Excited for
yeah,
Assassin's Creed. I'll probably put Starfield down when Assassin's Creed comes out.
yeah. I'm excited for Mirage. Yeah, that is another one.
Mm.
Man, I don't know. But Assassin's Creed is one of those games. Like Valhalla, I said I was not gonna get it, and then I pick it up anyways. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I always say I'm not gonna get it, and I always get it anyways, and I always enjoy it. Like Valhalla, I enjoyed it. I played 30, 40 hours of it. It's just the open world was too big, and I was like, after like 30 hours, I was like, yeah, I think I know what this game's about, and I just watched
Yeah, it's
cutscenes for
not.
the ending.
I stopped caring, dude.
hmm But this, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I think they said you can beat the game in like 30 hours too, so it's a smaller,
Yeah,
compact game.
and that's why I'm excited for it because they said it's like more linear too, and I'm like,
hmm
perfect, bro. Just tell me where to go, man.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to explore like this big, vast nothingness.
Yep. And they're not like gatekeeping you with like XP or anything like that. You just go and assassinate people. There's no levels or anything like that. Because
Perfect, dude.
Origins, I hated Origins because it got to a point where I needed to farm XP because I was under leveled, and I switched the game from normal mode to easy mode. So I was like, I
Yeah,
am not doing that, and it kind of sucks that like everything became easy, but at least I was able to finish the game. But I'm like,
right.
right away when I saw that I was like getting those issues when I went and pressed like start. There's like this little like where you could buy like skins and stuff like that, and it was like, oh yeah, have the XP bonus boost for like $25, and you get like double XP and all this stuff. I was like,
That's
no,
why they do it, bro.
I know. So,
It
it got
is.
me so angry, man.
But I just finished the game list for September today,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of games I didn't include as well, and it's like stacked, bro. I'm about to retire, bro. I can't keep up with this no more,
Mm.
dude. Like, there's a lot of games coming out. A lot of games that everyone here is probably would be interested in.
I will say if Suikoden 1 and 2 gets an official release date, that will probably take over as my most hype game of the year because I've never played the game and I've heard they're really, really good RPGs. So that would probably take over as the game I'm most interested in. But yeah, it's probably a tie between Mirage and Super Mario RPG. 'Cause,
Yeah,
yeah,
Starfield, bro. It's gonna be game of the year.
yeah, you think so?
I'm putting the energy out there, dude. I just need it.
You think better than Baldur's Gate, Tears of the Kingdom?
Better than Baldur's Gate is
Yeah.
subjective because I feel like they're similar games with different play styles.
hmm
So like I feel like with Baldur's Gate 3, you have like a more tactical,
hmm
like kind of like play style
Yeah.
where, Starfield is obviously like first person and stuff. So I would say they're like tied. I would put them like in the same level.
hmm
When it comes to like Zelda, like great game, but I think if it came down to it, I would say Baldur's Gate 3 would get game of the year over Zelda.
hmm
And if Starfield's good, I would say it would get it over Zelda.
Yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you that I don't think Tears of the Kingdom will win game of the year, mainly because as different as it is compared to Breath of the Wild, it's still similar to Breath of the
You're right.
Wild. And
Very
it's like
similar.
where Starfield is a new experience. Baldur's Gate, well, maybe not a new experience, it's a new experience for many people because it's based off of, the video original Sin has a similar type of gameplay, which is of
Yeah.
course the same company, Larian Studios, who did that. So yeah, I agree. I could see those two going in. I mean, I don't think Spider-Man 2 is gonna go anywhere near Game of the Year. If it wins Game of the
No.
Year, then
No,
I
they
don't know.
bought it if it wins game of the year,
Yeah.
dude. There's no way, dude. If that wins game of the year, dude, like I quit. Like because it's one of those things. So like regardless, Starfield's been in development since 2013 or something like
hmm
that. And not only has it been in development for like 10 years, but they had this idea for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like I think it's gonna be good because everything I read, it's Todd Howard's like passion project.
Yeah.
But so something like that loses to Spider-Man 2,
hmm
which is just kind of like a bunch of developers already making a pre-built story almost, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it would be a shame.
A story that's been told plenty of times of,
Right.
Venom and all that.
Yeah, because they're basing it on like a story, even if it doesn't follow it like, you know what
hmm
I mean, like verbatim.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. What about you, fan? What do you think about that?
About
Just
what?
game of the year, you think that Tears of the Kingdom is gonna win it, or you think it's gonna be something like Starfield or like Baldur's Gate 3?
It's. I mean, the whole game of the weird thing is so subjective because it's all based on what like author votes, and then like the fan votes is just such a small percentage
Yeah.
of all of that. Um, Recency bias, it's probably going to be Baldur's Gate or Starfield just because of how recent the game had come out
hmm
to win win the Game Awards.
I
Or
don't think
actually,
that's the
yeah.
reason,
Yeah,
man.
no,
Like,
I think there'll be a lot of recency bias for that too.
Yeah. I mean, recency bias does play a part, but I agree with Mike in that sense. I don't think I'm
if
trying
a
to think like
game's
last
good,
year.
it's unforgettable, dude.
Yeah,
Like, you don't forget that. You're like, yo, that game was fire, dude. Like, it doesn't just leave your mind, regardless if something else new and shiny came along
yeah,
after that. You know what I mean? Like, because there's been games I think about for years. Ocarina of Time, bro. I still think about that game. It blew my mind. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but if there were Game Awards at the time, that would not have won Game of the Year when it
oh,
came out.
You don't think
yes, it
so?
would have.
I
Well,
don't think so.
100%, bro.
what
I
what
don't, I
would
don't
have
think
I'll
win?
so.
bet my life
Let's
savings on
let's
that,
see.
dude. Like,
Zelda.
This would be a good topic. Like we
Yeah.
should do like a who do you think would
Oh, well,
win Game of
this
the
would have came
Year?
out after Game. When did they do Game Awards?
December. It's always December.
December.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think that.
I don't think they did Game Awards back then, but
No.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Like the earliest Game Awards I can think of is like 2000 like 10 maybe. Maybe even before that. Cuz they had it on the what's that channel? Spike
Chief Book.
channel?
Oh, Spike. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
it was.
Cuz I thought they
see,
were the first one.
because because what Ocarina of Time came out in 1998.
Mhm.
All right. Here are the other games that came out the same year. Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
Came
but
out
that
in
wasn't as
1998.
big in
So,
'98.
Metal Gear Solid. Yes, Ocarina of Time. Resident Evil 2. They have Twisted Metal, Fallout 2, Sonic Adventure. That was actually a pretty big game on the Dreamcast. And then they've got Spyro, StarCraft. Freaking RTS
The
games are
Half-Life
huge.
come out in '98.
Half-Life came out in 98.
Yeah.
I think it would have been between Ocarina of Time and Half-Life.
See, that's why I'm like, I don't think
I
Ocarina of
think
Time would have won Game of the Year. It would have made nominations for sure. It would
I
have
think it
made
would. I
the
think it
list, but I don't
would
think it
have.
would have won. I don't think
I
it would have
think
won.
what
I
is
think it had.
so let's go back into the past here and let's compare because Metacritic would have whatever reviews were at the time and see which one had the highest score, and I guess it will be based off of that. So you're saying Half-Life 1, right?
Yeah, I would say Half-Life 1 or Ocarina of Time would have got that.
Half-Life 1 had a 96. Ocarina of Time had a 99.
See, yeah, bro. Everyone loved it, bro. Everyone loved it, dude. Because like, so Half-Life is a niche audience. You have to like first-person shooters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Ocarina of Time's a little bit more open, and it was rated M, so I guess like it's inaccessible to some people,
Yeah.
especially like kids.
Metal Gear Solid had a 94. What was the other games you were saying?
Sonic
There's like
Adventures, Baldur's Gate,
Let's see the original.
StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Yeah, because PC gaming was like still big back then.
There was nothing on Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was as big.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's quite a
StarCraft.
few games that would have gave a huge run. I mean, they had Xenogears is on here.
StarCraft had
Freaking
an 88.
Thief.
See, those are all
had
those
an
are all great
84.
games. Those are all great games, but
Yeah.
I feel like what set apart Ocarina of Time is like
Yeah.
they like made a perfect game. You know what I mean? Like not a lot of like open worldish games were out at the time, so it definitely did something different.
You can't do it by year. That would be nice if you can sort it up by ratings by year. But yeah, I mean, Ocarina of Time is the only one to have a 99. I think it's like the highest rated game ever. And to me, it's like I'm trying to think of my brain in 98.
Yeah, but you also have to look at some of these reviews. A lot of these reviews are recent too.
For what?
On
For
Metacritic. On
for-
Metacritic.
Oh,
On Metacritic. Some of them are within the last 10 years.
okay. Let me see. Ocarina of Time.
Especially the user reviews.
Yeah, there's one that's 2016.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm like.
so
I'm not sure
looking
if it would have
back,
won.
looking
mean,
back, dude,
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time still holds up. If you go back and play Half-Life, it's kind of trash nowadays. You have to play with the Black Mesa expansion. So like I think I think it definitely would have won because if it still holds up like to this day, you know what I mean? Like it would have
Yeah.
been mind blowing back then.
I will say, yeah, all the games that we looked up, I think out of all of them, Ocarina of Time is the only one that holds up. Because like Metal Gear Solid 1, I've said this plenty of times, it does not hold up. I was just playing Metal Gear Solid 3 on the Vita, and like I am so confused with playing it. It's like, yeah, at the time when it came out was easy, but even then, at the time you play Ocarina of Time, it's just seeing a 3D world, 3D environment, that open field, I think was a bigger thing versus Metal Gear Solid and the cinematic take it had, or any of these other games. So I
Yeah,
think
well,
Ocarina of Time would have won.
because it pretty much introduced like a semi open world area that like
Mm-hmm.
no game really had
Yep.
at that time.
Yep. In 3D, rather,
Right.
versus like Fallout, for example, was isometric at the time when Fallout
Right.
2 came out. So it wasn't a 3D world. Baldur's Gate was isometric. Um Metal Gear Solid, it's technically because the camera angle is still from the top. So like a lot of those had that, where Ocarina of Time was the first 3D. You're behind the character and you can see like around. I
And
don't.
like it's so Half-Life at the time too was like revolutionary, like with what it did with first person, like shooters. So like if like I had to pick, it would literally be between Zelda and Half-Life. But like I said, like Zelda definitely holds up better than Half-Life.
Yeah, this will be a fun topic. Maybe. Well, we got Gamescom this week, so I don't think we're gonna go deep into that. Maybe the following topic, we'll talk about that. Go by year and what we think would have won Game of the Year at that time, and I'll pick out like 10 games, and we can go ahead and go and see what we think would have won. So this will be interesting to talk about later on.
I definitely think Zelda, like thinking about back, like playing Zelda was like mind blowing, dude.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I remember when I first saw it was in a Walmart, and I was like, wait a minute, this is Zelda now? Like this is like amazing. Like it's just this world you gotta explore and all that. Yeah, that was definitely mind blown for sure. Where a lot of PlayStation games, I don't think I ever felt that way. Like PlayStation games were just like, like, oh, they're cool. Metal Gear Solid I did like, but it was more of the technical aspects of it, right? Like the fighting Psycho Mantis and him like vibrating your controllers or reading your memory card or having to plug in your controller to the second slot. Like a lot of people remember Psycho Mantis, and then everybody else somebody knows. Like people don't even know
Right,
if you say, do you remember Sniper Wolf? They're gonna tell you the YouTuber. They're not gonna tell you like the actual Sniper Wolf from Metal Gear
right.
Solid. Or TikTok or whatever she is.
That's the only Sniper Wolf I know of is MSG, man.
Yeah, who you
Oh.
fight twice. You fight him. You fight her twice. Again, people don't even know that you fight her twice. But that's all the topics we have for today. Appreciate everybody for joining us. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. We are trying to hit 500 subscribers, so definitely spreading the word. We definitely will appreciate you guys doing that. It does help us out a lot. Every view that we get on the channel helps us out a lot. And yeah, Fan, where can I catch you at?
You can catch me here, on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, X at Phaneckswhy.
What about you, Mike?
Right here, patiently waiting for Starfield.
Yep, and as always, you can catch me right here where we do talk about all the latest and greatest gaming news. And of course, you can watch our YouTube videos as well. Don't forget to check out Mike's Dave the Diver video, check out my Pokemon video, and we should have a couple more videos out this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.